Hi, welcome to episode 8. Today we're going to be chatting St. Albans, best coffee shops in West Virginia, and Twin Falls State Park. I'm Melody Pittman, a West Virginia native now living in Nevada's Mojave Desert outside of Las Vegas. Welcome to 100 Things West Virginia podcast. Who am I? I'm a blogger, vlogger, influencer, freelancer, RVer, and road tripper. I visit West Virginia a few times a year to see family and friends and co-wrote the 100 Things to Do in West Virginia Before You Die book with a longtime friend last spring. Our book is a bucket list of sorts for the incredible things to see and do in the Mountain State. While the National Book Series title implies 100 things, there are more like 240. I spent 4 months in a row exploring the state of West Virginia last year, living out of a suitcase and from hotel to hotel. I saw so many amazing things, and I'm so anxious to share them with you. So here we go. In this episode 8, again, we're talking about St. Albans, best coffee shops in West Virginia, and Twin Falls State Park. We're going to start with St. Albans. I lived in Charleston for over 40 years, and St. Albans was not a major player, but it was still a fun place to visit. Today, it's one of the most growing areas in West Virginia. You'd be so surprised if you haven't been there for a while. We'll start with Old Main Plaza, constructed in the 1980s as a pedestrian mall. You'll see dogwoods blooming in the springtime. You can meander down the street, enjoy the decorations. There's lots of flags and storyboards that talk about the fire in 1906 and the rich history of St. Albans. There's the Tap, where you can go for a great meal. I really enjoyed the buffalo chicken dip, and they have great sangria. There's Pickin' Preacher's Antiques. Who doesn't love a good antique store? Brandy's Emporium. Let me tell you, y'all, you're going to fall down the rabbit hole here. I went in there and probably spent an hour just looking through stuff and fell in love with so many things. Alas, I live in Nevada, and it was just way too hard to get home, but it's a treasure. Then there's the Village Sampler, which has needlepoint, different kind of arts and craft classes, sewing, counted cross stitch. They have a separate room for hands-on. And the people there are so friendly. They will welcome you with open arms and bring you in and teach you something or share their crafts with you. It's a really darling shop. And then there's the award-winning Little Bit of Heaven cupcakes, where the smell will get you before you even walk in the door. I'm telling you, this bakery is just literally a little bit of heaven. You'll find cupcakes, cinnamon rolls, cake pops. At Easter, you can also get the peanut butter flavored vanilla bean chickies. Oh, they were so good and they're so cute. They have fresh baked bread and they even have homemade dog bones. You're definitely not going to leave here empty-handed, and calories don't count. We're just going to forget that for the day. One of my favorite things at Old Main Plaza is the coffee shop, Coal River Coffee, which also serves beer, has live music. They have a book library. They have breakfast sandwiches, bagels, like you name it. The barista is fantastic in making something special for you. I drink dirty matcha or dirty chai, and they made some fantastic blueberry concoction for me. So I highly recommend that. It's also going to make number 2 on this podcast because we're also talking about best coffee shops in West Virginia. We'll be circling right back to that one. Then there's Angela's on the River, the best Cajun chicken pasta around. And especially since Cagney's closed, Cagney's in downtown Charleston was the star of Cajun chicken pasta. Angela's on the River is pretty close. And I think my meal was $13. So that's like, you can't even beat that. It came with a salad and bread, other menu items. In case you're interested, a crab stuffed whitefish, steaks, hot crab dip, peanut butter pie, fruit cobbler. This is a restaurant you could go to daily or you could go for a special occasion. It can be dressed up or dressed down, but it was really great. Another place that's popular in St. Albans is Mediterranean Breeze, which is right on the riverfront. I ordered a chicken shawarma, and I'm not going to lie, I didn't care for it. It was not a very good chicken shawarma, but the restaurant is pretty and they had great service. Most of the people around me were really enjoying their food. It runs the gamut from chicken and steaks to pepperoni rolls, or I think it's called a Sicilian roll that's served with marinara. My friend had that and loved it. Then there's the Riverfront Park at the Port of St. Albans, which is home to the Tour de Cole Yak Fest in mid-June. This is a flatwater kayaking capital of West Virginia. That is what they boast, being the flatwater kayaking capital of West Virginia. They've just recently had their 150th anniversary, gateway to the Cole River. So anyway, you can come for this Yak Fest, Tour de Cole. It's an annual community paddle trip supporting the Cole River groups of river restoration efforts. It's June 15th in 2024, and the float starts in Tornado, which is slightly past St. Albans, and then goes 12 miles down the Cole River to the Gateway Shopping Center in St. Albans. There'll be thousands of people there. There's vendors, there's entertainment, food, arts and crafts, like you name it. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It also made our 100 Things to Do in West Virginia book. The Cole River via West Main Street roadway near St. Albans is the entryway to the new Outdoor Adventure Center of Southern West Virginia. I just learned that recently, so if you haven't checked that out, you might want to make a note of that one. As someone who has done road trips around West Virginia for years and years and years, there were a lot of waterways in West Virginia that were tragically filthy, basically. Coal dirt, coal dust, pollution, whatever. They were just bad. And I was actually driving in Boone County, at the upper end of Boone County, between Boone County and Raleigh County over the summer. And lo and behold, I'm looking at the river as I'm driving, and I'm like, wow, like that river is clear. It's usually like brown and muddy looking, like the Chocolate River. I'm telling you, it was fantastic. So clean. And they've even invested so much money and time and effort that there are a lot of fishing areas. The fish are back, like they're stocking fish, and the fish are thriving and reproducing. So these waterways are just getting cleaned up beautifully, and the Coal River is one that could definitely be the probably the best example of that. So let's go down memory lane in St. Albans. If you lived in West Virginia for a long time, or maybe you lived there when you were young, going back to like the 80s or the 90s, if you remember, there was the St. Albans Mall, and there was a Kmart there, good old Kmart. Cox's department store, which then became Watson's. I remember shopping there when I was in high school. Then it became Peebles. There was Twilight Zone Arcade, a National Record Mart. Hey, do y'all remember National Record Mart? Oh, I'd spend my allowance there. Go get some 45s, 33s, extended mix, which became cassette, DVD. You know, we've gone through the whole gamut of everything. Sorry, CD. There was a Fashion Bug, a Hallmark. Then not necessarily at the mall, but let's go back to River's Edge. Oh my gosh. Who did not love River's Edge? That was such a great restaurant. And for me, the complimentary hush puppies and little cup of vegetable soup they gave you whenever you sat down, it's hard to beat that. I still just have such great memories of that. My family used to go to River's Edge on Easter and on Thanksgiving sometimes, because some of the family would be traveling or hunting or something. So it has a lot of special memories for me. And then, as I mentioned, Angela's is at the Chilton House. So did you ever eat at the Chilton House way back in the day? That was pretty fine dining for its time, and I went to a couple weddings there. So another St. Albans institution is John's Cyclery. It's older than me by a year. They are, quote, professional repair and upgrade service, bicycles, e-bikes, cycling equipment, professional fitting, unquote. Bike shops are just so popular now and common, but John's Cyclery has been in business forever. They're not just a trend jumping on the bandwagon. They are the grandfather. They're the OG bike store. So I think that's the oldest one that I can remember in all of West Virginia. And then we can't not talk about the St. Albans Festival of Lights at the St. Albans City Park. It runs late November through December 23rd. There's not a flat fee. They just ask for a donation whenever you drive through. Sometimes they collect canned goods. It's been running for 35 years. I remember taking my kids there when they were young, and we would get there almost at twilight, so we didn't have to wait very long, But they always did a very nice job. It was, of course, Christmassy and festive and fun, and sometimes Santa Claus would be there. He may be there now. I'm not sure. But anyway, if you're going to St. Albans and it's the holiday time, you have to go there. And now we need to take a quick little break and thank our sponsor, Tudor's Biscuit World. If you haven't had a Tudor's biscuit, you haven't really lived.
Oh, good gravy. The kind made from real premium sausage. The kind that's smothered over deliciousness. The kind you can only get at Tudor's Biscuit World. That's the gravy that's oh so good. It's the perfect topping to your biscuits or your taters, and even makes a delicious side. It's oh so good gravy. Tudor's Biscuit World. We're dripping with oh good gravy.
Moving on, part 2 of this podcast. Let's talk about coffee shops. I'm so addicted to coffee and coffee shops. I don't even recognize myself. 10 years ago, I did not spend money on drinks like that. It was just such a waste of money. And now, one drink could be $5 to $10, depending on where you go. I have no problem just buying a drink or two every day, getting my caffeine fix in such a good way. So anyway, I'm sure a lot of you feel the very same way. So I'm going to go through a list of my favorite coffee shops, and I'd love to hear what yours are and what you think about my choices. So these are in no order. I haven't really ranked them. These are just the coffee shops I really love. We'll start with Stone Tower Brews. Excellent coffee, tea. They even have beer and breakfast. There are 3 locations. The one I went to is in Buchanan. I've been to that one a few times, and it does not disappoint. They have a little outdoor covered patio, and they have indoor seating. The breakfast is spot on. I'm telling you, When you're in West Virginia and get something with fresh sliced avocado on it, yes, like that is a go back to that place. So I really love Stone Tower Brews. Daily Dose. That's in Canal City on McCorkle Avenue. It's a darling little shop. I don't know the owner's name, but she's very personable. I know they make biscuits and gravy on weekends. I've never had it because I just wasn't there on a Saturday morning, but it sounds delicious. I'm sure it's wonderful. They also sell sandwiches, frittatas, smoothies, pastries. Anyway, they do a very good job. It's a little bit awkward how you get in there. They have a parking lot on the side, but you just have to know exactly where it is so that you don't miss it, or you can go in from the back. So if you know where Mike Wendland photography studio is, it's somewhat near that. A lot of people don't even know it exists and they drive by it every day. So Daily Dose on McCorkle Avenue, Canal City, upper end of Canal City. So if I were having to rank my favorite coffee shop, it's probably going to be Mia Cuppa. And I dream about Mia Cuppa, which is on Capitol Street at the library, the Kanawha County Library in downtown Charleston. And it's also on the west side in the old, what was the pastry shop that was there? In that building, I can't remember the name of the pastry shop. Then they also have a location at the Capitol Market. So the one at Capitol Market, I think, stays open a little bit later. I think it stays open until 6 part of the year or something. But phenomenal coffee. It's so good. They have scones and cookies, and the Velvet Elvis is my drink. I'm telling you, I have had so many drinks similar to that around the country, around the world. Velvet Elvis is the drink. That is my number one top coffee drink in the whole world. And it comes from Charleston. How about Tip Top in Thomas, West Virginia? That is one adorable coffee shop. It's so aesthetically pleasing. I love going in there. They are like plant haven. Like plants are everywhere and they have them strategically placed so they're very Instagram worthy. It's a warm, welcoming shop. They serve cortados, matchas, tasty sandwiches, and sweets. And they also have canned coffee drinks. So the canned oat milk raspberry mocha, y'all, I'm just telling you, that is off the hook delicious. So they are doing something nobody else is doing. I don't know of any other canned coffee drink in West Virginia, and this one is hard to beat. So do yourself a favor, drive up to Thomas, have that coffee, you'll thank me later. An unexpected find, and this one has won a lot of awards in West Virginia, but I just had not been to it, is Manic Espresso in Lewisburg. And I actually, my first time going to Manic Espresso was at the drive-thru in Raynell. I'm driving the back roads going to the Greenbrier, and lo and behold, I see this drive-thru coffee shop in Raynell, West Virginia. They also have a location in Covington, Virginia, right across the state line. They sell chocolate-covered espresso beans. Kudos for them because I have some of those in my computer bag everywhere I go. They have a huge coffee menu. I had to do a Facebook Live video when I went through the drive-thru there because I don't think I'd ever seen a coffee menu that big in my life. They have excellent matcha drinks. They also make homemade pepperoni rolls and breakfast sandwiches. So you're definitely going to want to hit that if you're in Lewisburg or Raynell. The Chocolate Mousse in Beckley. So the Chocolate Mousse is a multi-function business. I think they have putt-putt, a climbing wall. They have a lot of other things going on. But first and foremost, I think it is a coffee shop. And I went there for the first time probably 5 years ago. And the menu is fantastic. They have really cool names like the Devil Ants and so forth. And also their bagged coffees have really cool names. And the branding at Chocolate Mousse is the best coffee shop branding I've seen in West Virginia. It's off the hook amazing. I love everything about it. And they were doing flavored foams long before it was cool. I don't know where the owner came from or where they got that concept, but I travel the United States 300 days a year, and now I see flavored foams everywhere. But 6 years ago, I was not seeing foam maybe 2 or 3 places. They have this drink that has a little bit of chocolate, and I'm not a sweet coffee drinker, but it had orange foam. Oh, dear God. That drink was so amazing. Okay, well, moving on. I'm getting so excited over this coffee segment. The Unity Cafe in Parkersburg, a darling little shop downtown. They do French press. They have a Pavlov's latte, which is their signature drink. They do an excellent dirty chai. It's a super cute place. You can buy the art off the wall. They have great breakfast. Parkersburg's moving up in the world. I'm telling you, Parkersburg, we're going to talk about that one again on another podcast segment because I found so many gems in Parkersburg. Moving on to Fayetteville. Let's go up the road to Fayetteville to Rangefinder Coffee, a darling little shop in downtown Fayetteville. It's a really cool vibe, a way different look than most coffee shops. It's just super cute. You just want to hang out there. They have good coffee drinks too and really friendly staff. So that one gets a big kudos just because it's very unique. And then, speaking of unique, Lost Dog Coffee up in Shepherdstown. Wow, what a find. They have the most artsy outdoor window of any coffee shop I've ever been to in the whole world. So anyway, they do great drinks. Their website is all over the place, like very hippie and just artsy as can be. They do a lot of sweet drinks, and I ordered something that's a pretty common drink. I wasn't sure they could do it. They told me they could. It was a little sweeter than what I normally drink, but it was good, and I appreciated how much effort they put into it. And they do a lot of drinks that are layered, like a B52. If you've ever had a B52 like shooter, they do a lot of coffee drinks that are beautiful like that. So I always appreciate the beauty of the coffee as much as the taste. Okay, so then again, we'll go back to the Coal River Coffee down in St. Albans. They also do great Italian sodas and matchas again. That's just a super cute coffee shop. I have a couple friends who go there every single day before work, so a lot of repeat people going in there. It's not, close to the interstate or anything like that, so the fact that they have so much traffic means they're doing a really great job. And then down in Huntington, Cicada Books. Not only is it a great independent bookstore, but they also have a darling little coffee shop. And they have a bunch of cute little sweet treats and everything. I think they do Hill Tree Roasters coffee. They serve gourmet teas, frappes, cold brew, cappuccino. Anyway, super cute. And then the last one I'm going to leave you with is Hilltop Coffee in Raleigh County. Hilltop Coffee is a really beautiful place. Again, cold brew. They do gourmet toasts. So like a sandwich, only it's just a toast and fancy grilled cheeses. They're maybe $7 or $8, and they're absolutely delicious, like super fresh tomatoes and just really good, like gourmet cheeses. They do homemade chicken salad, cheesecake, jar desserts. It's real spacious, and it has nice windows. The lighting's really good. I had a pistachio cold brew there. It was a 10 out of 10. So anyway, hopefully that gives you some new coffee shops to look forward to. In the last segment of this podcast, we're going to talk about a West Virginia state park. I went to a lot of state parks while I was in West Virginia for that 4-month span, and so I have a lot of information, but I didn't want to overload you and just talk about state parks. So we're just going to talk about one, and that is Twin Falls State Park. So just to give you a rundown, I'm going to bore you with a little bit of just facts. I love facts. I'm a Jeopardy girl, so anytime I can hear some great facts, I'm all about it. There are 37 West Virginia parks. The DNR, the Division of Natural Resources, DNR, Parks and Rec section is who oversees all the parks in West Virginia minus one. And that one, anybody guess? Stonewall Jackson. Or Stonewall. Yeah, Stonewall is not part of the DNR governing body. They actually have a PR company, and it's a private park. Twin Falls is in Wyoming County. It has 3,776 acres, and it was created in 1964. So what's at Twin Falls? They have a golf course, a reconstructed pioneer homestead that serves as a living history museum, and a lodge. The lodge is really, really beautiful. You walk in the door and there's this gorgeous multi-story stone fireplace. It's just the focal point of the room. It's really beautiful. A few things I like is that they do some really off-the-wall things here. So they have a lot of groups. They host a lot of groups. This is not a park that's like super easy to get to. So you got to have some cool things to offer if you're going to get people to drive out there. It's also near the birthplace of Bill Withers. Remember A Lovely Day? So that's Bill Withers. He's from West Virginia. So some of the things I loved about Twin Falls is that they have like golf. They have golf. So they attract a big group of people for golf. They have hay rides. And anybody can do one of the hay rides. I was like getting out of my car, and the guy who's driving the hay ride's like, "Hey, are you here to join us?" I was like, "No, I'm just here to like see the state park or whatever. Going to go in and see the lodge." How fun is that? Hay ride. Yeah. So I like that. And then again, the Pioneer Home has several period structures. It's really beautiful. I'm not sure of the age of it. I want to say 150 years. And actually, I had a meal there, and my waitress, her name was Maria. She was the most darling young girl. Her family lives at the historic home. They live there and maintain it. And she had so much knowledge about the area. Like I'm telling you, she'd be such a great tour guide. She's grown up a year or two since then, so maybe that's in her blood. Like she should definitely do something in tourism because she really sells the area in West Virginia, and she's very knowledgeable. The Twin Falls Restaurant. What a great find. If you just have a Sunday and you just want to go for a beautiful drive, have a nice meal, Twin Falls is your destination. Just plug it in, go to the restaurant. West Virginia parks have gotten a lot of money since COVID. and the money has been very well spent. They have been spruced up. They're just absolutely beautiful. A lot of them, I can't speak for all of them, but a lot of them are accessible. And the restaurants they have just really done a great thing with the restaurants. The Twin Falls restaurant, the man who runs the restaurant, I guess he owns this restaurant, he wrote to me, and his family worked at Twin Falls their whole lives. So he has like such a unique history there. And it was just a really beautiful message that he sent. But it's just a beautiful place. Let me tell you what I had. First of all, they have artwork on the walls that you can buy from local people. I mean, beautiful artwork. They have huge floor-to-ceiling windows for enjoying the scenery while you're eating. Like, they have pickle fries, vegan spring rolls, a dinner of ham and beans. Like, how West Virginia is that? Shrimp scampi, club sandwiches, pizza, a variety of flatbreads, and probably one of the most popular things at any West Virginia state park, the West Virginia rainbow trout. I went for a typical West Virginia meal. I had the fried green tomatoes, which were really, really good. And then I had a bowl of pinto beans with, the little chopped onions, and it came with corn muffins. And y'all, it was $5 for a bowl. So for $12, I had fried green tomatoes, an iced tea, and a bowl of pinto beans. Really delicious pinto beans. Maybe one of the top 3 that I've ever ordered out in West Virginia. It was just lovely. My meal was great, and they serve you on custom dishes that the West Virginia parks have invested in, and they have the logo of each park on the dishes. They're absolutely beautiful. I've eaten a lot of state park meals, and that is the one thing that just really, really makes me smile. It makes me happy that I'm eating off this beautiful china that they put so much thought into. So, other things at the property. There's a well-appointed gift shop. There's a beautiful carnival glass display with some storyboards talking about carnival glass and being made in West Virginia. There are beautiful leather couches in the lobby. It's just a warm and welcoming lobby. You might want to just read a book there, play a game on your phone. Down the road, there's a great splash pad. It's like lime green and orange and real vibrant colors. Like, kids will just love that. And you're also near the Bear Wallow Campground, which is part of the Hatfield-McCoy Trail System. So that's amazing. That's attracting international visitors like it's nobody's business. I'm telling you, like, West Virginia tourism is going gangbusters from international people coming to the best trail system in America, Hatfield-McCoy Trail. That's some of the great things going on at Twin Falls. I'm sure there are a million other things. I was only there for an afternoon. I did not spend the night there. I'd love to spend the night there at some point in time. But anyway, I'd love to hear, like, what are your favorite things about Twin Falls? And what are your favorite coffee shops in West Virginia? And what do you think about St. Albans? Well, that concludes our 8th episode. I hope you learned a lot of new things about West Virginia and made some notes for your upcoming road trips. You can follow along on our social pages at 100 Things West Virginia on Facebook and Instagram. I also have a West Virginia group called West Virginia Wanderlust. West Virginia is not abbreviated in that one. You can also buy the book directly from me by sending me a message through our social channels or from Reedy Press at reedypress.com. You can also buy from your favorite online book company and many independent bookstores around West Virginia.